Hello, dear students. My name is Ajay Gulati. Welcome to Shri Jain's Rank Zone classes. I am your friend and mentor for the mathematics portion, that is quantitative aptitude portion. And today is the class number 5, lecture number 5 for the topic number system. The topic today which we will be dealing is remainder theorem. And as usual, I am claiming that the shortcuts which I'll be telling you for the topic, you will love them. Remainder theorem. So the topic we will be dealing today is remainder theorem. I will be starting from the very basic, from the very scratch, then we'll be gradually moving on to the upper levels. Okay. I take a very beautiful example in front of you. Suppose I say 36 divided by 8. What is the remainder? You have to tell me the remainder. Okay. What is the remainder when this 36 is divided by 8? So you obviously if this 36 is divided by 8, it will be divisible till 4 times. You will get a 4 remainder. So the remainder is 4. But obvious. Now what I need to explain is, suppose I say 36 divided by 4. We know this thing. If I break it as 17 plus 19 divided by 4. Okay. What is the remainder? 17 by 4 will give me a remainder 1. 19 by 4 when divided, oh, 8, 8, 8, sorry, okay. This 19 when divided by 4 will give me by 8 will give me a remainder 3. So the total remainder still comes out to be 4. So what I mean to say is, if you break down a bigger number into two smaller numbers, then also the remainder will remain to be same. 21 plus 15 divided by 8. What will be the remainder? See students, here what you can do is, see 21 when divided by 8 will give me a remainder 5. 15 when divided by 8 will give me a remainder 7, or I can say, instead of 7 I can say minus 1 remainder. 5 minus 1 is 4. Let's move by this method only first. 5 remainder, 7 remainder, or a 12 remainder. 12 well divided by 8 will give me a remainder of 4. Now let's move to this minus 1 remainder. Look, when I say 15 is a number, see, 8 is divided by 8, divisible by 8. 16 is divisible by 8. If I divide 15 by 8, I can say what is the remainder? The remainder is 7. How come? 15 divided by 8, 1 is the quotient, 8 will come over here, 7 is the remainder. It means that this 15 is 8 more than, 15 is 7 more than 8. Okay, 8 is a multiple of 8. 16 is also multiple of 8, but 15 is minus 1, 1 short of 16. So 15 is 1 short of a number that is a multiple of 8. So I can say remainder minus 1. So this is equal to 4. Before moving ahead, let me tell you a small concept about negative remainders. Like this, I took negative remainder. This concept will make your life very easy. Suppose I talk about a number 30. 30 when divided by 11. What is the remainder? Remainder is 8. How come? 22. The remainder is 8. That is, you can say, if you write the table of 11, you will get 11, then you will get 22, then you will get 33. 30 is located somewhere over here. Let me draw something bigger. Let's say 30 is located somewhere over here. This is 33. 30 is somewhere over here. So these are the multiples of 11. 30 is 8 more than a multiple of 11, so therefore you can say a remainder of 8, or 30 is 3 less than a multiple, another multiple of 11. That way you can say a minus 3 remainder is also possible. So these two types of remainders are possible, my dear students. Getting it clear to all? So this is the concept of negative remainder. So let's take few examples. Let's talk about 11 only. If I say for 11, any particular number n divided by 11, any particular number n divided by 11, I say the remainder is 10. So I can say the remainder is minus 1 also. these two numbers will sum up to 11. Okay, 10 or minus 1. Suppose if I say the remainder is 5 or 6, okay, then I can also say the remainder is minus 5. Suppose I am dividing a number by 8. I am dividing a number by 8 and then I say that the remainder is 6. Then I can also say the remainder is minus 2. If I say that the remainder is 5, then I can also say the remainder is minus 3. Okay, dear students. Again, let's take one more example. Suppose I say I divide a number by 9 and I say the remainder is 1 or the remainder is 8. Then I can also say the remainder is minus 1. If my remainder is 1, then I can also say the remainder is minus 8. It depends upon the question we are attempting. Okay. Suppose I divide a number n by 15 and I say the remainder is 12 or 11, then I can say the other remainder could be minus 4. This is the concept which I need to explain to you, and I think I have done it. Yeah, so what I told you, if a bigger number, if a bigger number is divided, let's say if a number n is divided by d and the remainder is r. Now, if we express n as n1 plus n2 plus n3 and n1 plus n2 plus n3 is divided by the same divisor d, then also the remainder will remain to be the same r only. This is what I want to explain. On the exactly on the basis of this, again, if a number is n is divided by d and the remainder is r, okay, if n is divided by d and the remainder is r, then then if n can be expressed as n1 into n2 into n3 or so on, okay, this is the most important tool. Okay, now this will help you solve a lot of big problems with very small shortcuts. Is divided by d, then also the remainder will be same r only. Getting it, dear students? If you are being told to find the remainder of a very big number, let's say I ask you to find the remainder of suppose 8192 divided by 7. Okay, something like this, or let's say 4096 divided by 7, and you really are not in a mood to do it. How will you do it? See, I know this thing, this number is 8 raised to the power 4. Okay, I can express this number as 8 into 8 into 8 divided by 7. 4096 is what? 8 into 8 into 8 into 8 divided by 7. This divided by 1 by 7 will give me a remainder 1. This divided by 7 will give me a remainder 1. This number divided by 7 will give me a remainder 1. This 8 divided by 7 will give me a remainder 1. So final remainder will be 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1. That will give me one remainder. Now I'll come to this concept in great detail. Look, let's talk about the previous number, 36 divided by 8. We know what is the remainder. The remainder is 4. Okay. Now if I express this 36 as 18 into 2 divided by 8. 18 into 2 divided by 8. Then what will happen? 18 divided by 8 will give me a remainder of 2. Okay. 18 by 8 into 2 by 8. Here also the remainder will be 2. By here also the remainder will be 2. So the remainder will be 4. Clear, my dear students? Okay. This was the main concept which I needed to teach you. Let's say I express this 36 as 9 into 4 divided by 8. 9 into 4 divided by 8. 9 divided by 8 will give me a remainder 1. 4 divided by 8 will give me a remainder 4. Okay. So the final remainder will be 4. I hope it's clear to everyone. Let's move ahead. This was the main thing. Now we will come to the questions based on this only. Okay. Now suppose somebody asks me 3 raised to power 40 divided by 8. What will be the remainder? How will I do this thing? Huh? I will just apply a small logic. What will be the logic? Suppose somebody asks me what will be the remainder. How will I do? See, I know 3 raised to power 40 can be written as 3 raised to power 2 into 3 into 20 divided by 8. That is, it becomes 9 raised to the power 20 divided by 8. Now the things become very easy. 9 is divided by 8. What is the remainder? 1. So the power will be 1 raised to power 20. I'm talking only about the remainders. Okay, I'm talking about only the remainders. Otherwise, these things are not correct, but I'm dealing in remainder. So 9 divided by 8 will give me a 1. 1 is to power 20 will give me a remainder of 1. This is the logic behind these sort of questions. Okay, let's move to the next question. Suppose someone asks me 24 5 raised to power 100 divided by 24. What I will do now? Somebody asks me what is the remainder. Okay, what I do? I know 5 raised to power 100 can be written as 5 raised to power 2 raised to the power 50 divided by 24. What is 5 raised to power 2? 5 raised to power 2 is 25 divided by 50 divided by 24. I'll take all sort of variations, dear students. Just I'm starting from the beginning right now. So the remainder will be 25 divided by 24 will give me a remainder of 1. So 1 raised to power 50 divided by 24 will give me a remainder of 1. Just one or two small things related with this concept only. Suppose I say 5 raised to the power 100 divided by 26. Now what I'll do? Now what I'll do is R. What is the remainder? This is being asked. Okay. I will again write 5 raised to the power 2. 5 raised this to the power 50 divided by 26. This will become what now? This becomes 25 raised to the power 50 divided by 26. 25 when divided by 26 will give me a remainder of minus 1. Minus 1 when divided by 50. Minus 1 when divided by 50 will give me a remainder of what? Positive. See, minus 1 raised to the even power, so it will give me a remainder of 1. I'm sure so far things are very clear to everyone. Let's take another example by this only. Suppose I talk to you about 5 raised to the power 101 divided by 24. Suppose I talk to you about 5 raised to the power. First of all, let's deal in this. 5 raised to power 101 divided by 24. What will be the remainder? Okay. What will be the remainder? How will I do it? I'll write 5 raised to the power 100 into 5 raised to the power 1 divided by 24. Okay. Now we will write this as 5 raised to power 100 is 5 raised to power 2 raised to power 50 divided by 24 into 5 raised to power 1. Now let's look. This is 25 raised to power 50 into 5 raised to power 24. Now I can further write it as R stands for the remainder will be okay. 25 raised to power 50. 24 divided by 24 will give me a remainder 1. 1 raised to power 50 into 5 divided by 24. So my final remainder will be what? My final remainder will be 1 into 5. Okay, so the final remainder will be 5 will be the remainder. This is the thing which I wanted to explain it to you. Let's take another example, dear students. 5 raised to the power 101 divided by 26. Now what will be the remainder? Look, I will again do the same thing. 25 I will write as 100 into 5 raised to power 1 divided by 26. Again what I'll do 5 square divided by 50. Okay, 26 into 5 raised to the power 1. 5 square is 25. 25, this becomes now, see, this I can write as 25 raised to the power 50 divided by 26 into 5 raised to the power 1. Look, 25 will give me a remainder of minus 1, but minus 1 raised to the power is even, divided by 26 into 5. So what I'll get? I will get minus 1 raised to power 50 will be plus 1. Plus 1 into 5 divided by 26 will give me a further remainder of 5. So I can say in this case the remainder is again 5. Let's move to another concept now. This will be a bit typical as compared to the previous one. Suppose I say 5 raised to the power 103 divided by 26. What will be the remainder? How will I do it? The remainder will be, I will write as 5 raised to the power 102 into 5 divided by 26. This can be written as 5 square 102. I will write 51, 2 into 51 into 5 divided by 26. Let's look now. This becomes 25 raised to the power 51 divided by 26 into 5. Now what will happen is 25, the remainder will be 25. I will write as this 25 when divided by 26 will give me a remainder of minus 1 into 5 divided by 26. Now this is the main concept. Look, here what I get, now I get a remainder of minus 1 into 5 divided by 26, or I can say minus 5 remainder, which can further be written down as, this is minus 5 remainder when divided by 26. So this remainder will be 26 minus 5, or you can say 21 will be the remainder. 21 will be the remainder in this particular case. I already told you, if I suppose the number is 26, one of the remainder is 5, the other remainder will be minus 21. This, the number will be, their sum will be equal to this number. One will be positive, one will be negative. Okay, or you can also say if one of the remainder is 20, if one of the remainder is minus 5, the other remainder will be plus 21. I am sure it must be clear to all of you. Okay, dear students, let's move to the next one now. I have told you this concept, and I've told each and every type of thing in this. Let's take one or two more examples, then I'll tell you a very beautiful shortcut. Okay, look. Suppose I say uh, 2 raised to the power 63 divided by 17. What will be the remainder? Okay. Now 2 raised to power 63 divided by 17. What will be the remainder? See, I can say one thing. I know one thing, that is 2 raised to power 4. 2 raised to power 4 is equal to 16. This is very close to 17. My approach will always be like this. Whatever this number is here, just try to find any power of this, so that the power comes close to the divisor. So now what I'll write, I know 2 raised to power 4, so I can say, and what is the multiple of 4? 60 is a multiple of 4. 60 is a multiple of 4. So what I'll do, I'll write 2 raised to power 60, 2 raised to power 3 divided by 17. So now what will happen? This will become 2 raised to power 4 into 15 into 2 raised to power 3 divided by 17. 2 raised to power 4 is what? 16 raised to the power 15 into 2 raised to power 3 is 8 divided by 17. 16 I can say as minus 1 raised to power 15 into 8 divided by 17. Now what will be the remainder? Minus 1 raised to power 15 will be what? This will be minus 1 into 8 divided by 17, or I can say this is minus 1 odd power, so it will be minus 1. So finally it will be minus 8 remainder. For 17, a remainder of minus 8, okay, can also be sent as a remainder of 9. So your remainder will be 9. I am sure it must be clear to all of you. I wanted to whatever concept I wanted to explain, I have done it clearly. This part is done. Let's take one more easy example, then I'm coming to a very good rule. Mm, Suppose I say 7 raised to power 29 divided by 25. What will be the remainder in such a case? See, what I can do is I know 7 square 7 square is 49. If I talk about 25, so 25 into 2 is what? 50. Here what do I get? Some power of 7 is very close to a multiple of this. Now what I'll do, I'll write as 7 raised to power 48 into 7 raised to power 1 divided by 25. See, what's happening right now is this can be written as is equal to 7 raised to power 48 is 7 square raised to power 24 into 7 divided by 25, which can further be written as 49 raised to the power 24 divided by 25 into 7. Now this 49 is 1 less than 50. So I can say here the remainder will be minus 1 raised to the power 24 into 7 divided by 25, or I can say 1 into 27 divided by 25. So the remainder comes out to be 7. This is your answer. Now I am coming to explain to you a very, very, very beautiful rule, and I am sure you will love this rule. Okay, let me start. Let's come to the original shortcut or the Brahmastra for solving remainder theorem questions. Okay, look, suppose it is given to me this divisor is a prime number. This divisor is a prime number. Now, here is a number which is co-prime. Here is a number which is co-prime with this prime number. Okay, this number is a prime. Here the number is a co-prime. Now let's say there is a power. Then there will be a remainder will always be 1 if if this power if this term power if this power is a multiple of p minus 1. So what I need to tell you is multiple of p minus 1 is that is here is a co-prime number. This number is co-prime with this prime number p, and the power is p minus 1. Okay, then the remainder will be 1, or I can say, see students, the this is co-prime, this is p. If this power is p minus 1 multiple, this is actually the main thing. This is just I'm writing the above thing, I'm just writing to simplify the things. This is the main thing. In nutshell, if I can say this, the remainder will be 1. What is the example of this? Let me show you. See, what I mean to here is, suppose I take a prime number 7. Take any number which is co-prime with 7, that is that it does not 7 cancel with 7. Let's say I take a number 4, 5, anything 5. What is 1 less than 7 is 6. Okay, here the remainder will be what? The remainder will be 1. Any multiple of 6, 5 raised to the power 7, the remainder will be 1. I take another prime number 11. Okay, I take any number 24. What is 1 less than 11? 10. If you take the power 10, then also the remainder will be 1. Instead of 10, if you take the power 120, then also the remainder will be 1. Getting it? Okay, dear students. In all such cases, the remainder will be 120. Let me show you few more examples. Suppose I say I take a number 23, I take a number 17. Both of these are co-prime to each other. 17 does not cancel anything with 23. What is 1 less than 17? 16. If you take the power 96, this is a multiple of 16. If you take the power 48, anything, the remainder will be 1. Getting it, dear students? Again, I take another prime number. Suppose I take a prime number 13. 1 less than 13 is 12. If you take the power 36 or 48 again, okay, you take any number 11, the remainder will be 1. Let's take one more example. Let's take a prime number 19. 1 less than 19 is 18. Again, you take 18 into 2 is 36. Take any number 11. What will be the remainder? The remainder will again be 1. So far, I am sure things are clear to everyone. Okay, I have explained this concept. Let me take one more example. Suppose I take a number 23 is prime. 1 less than 23 is 22. You take a power 110. This power 110 is a multiple of 22. You take any number which is not cancelable, 23, that is 23 into 4 is 92. Suppose I take a number 100. This becomes a very tedious, cumbersome calculation, but I just know the basic logic. This is a number prime. 1 less than this is 22. 22 into 5 is 110. So the power is 1, a multiple of 1 less than prime, the remainder will be 1. You have got it? I am sure. Okay, let's move to the next question of this type. Suppose here only I take a number 5 raised to the power 8 divided by 7. I already know 5 raised to power 6 will give me a remainder of 1. This can be written as divided by 7. Now what it will become? This will become 1 into 25, because we know this is 1. Okay, we know, because this will give me a remainder of 1. So in place of this I write 1. 25 divided by 7. 25 divided by 7 will give me a remainder of what? 25 divided by 7 will give me a remainder of 4. Okay, on the same basis, suppose instead of 5 raised to power 12, I take 5 raised to power 15 divided by 7. What will be the remainder? What I'll do, I'll write 5 raised to the power 12 into 5 raised to power 3 divided by 7. This becomes 1 into 125 divided by 7. I know 119 is divisible by 7, so here I can say the remainder will be, this will be 120, the remainder will be 6. Okay, getting the logic, dear students? Let's move to the next one. Yeah, this one, 24, big number now. 24, let's take a good example now. Let me, no problem, bro. 24, suppose I say raised to the power 124 divided by 11. What will happen now? I already know 24 raised to the power 120 will give me a remainder 1. How much is remaining? 24 raised to the power 4 divided by 11. This can further be simplified as 1. 24 when divided by 11 will give you a remainder of 2. 24 when divided by 11 will give you a remainder of 2 raised to power 4 divided by 11, that is 16 divided by 11, the remainder will be 5. Okay, let's take next one. I took 23 raised to the power, this can be a bit lengthy, you will enjoy it. 23 raised to the power 15 divided by 17. I already know 23 raised to power 48 is 1, remaining is 23 square. 23 raised to power 48 is 1, we have already done it, divided by 17. This will give me remainder of 1 into, either you can directly do 23 square, or you can say 23 when divided by 17 will give me a 6 square divided by 17, that is 36 by 30, 17, 30 till 34. It will be divisible till 34, so that way the remainder will be 2. Okay, dear students, let's take the next example. 11 raised to power 36 divided by 13, I take it as 11 raised to power 39 divided by 13. How to do it? I already know 11 raised to power 36 is 1. So this is 11 raised to power 36 into 11 cube divided by 13. Look, 11 raised to power 36 is 1. What is 11 cube? 11 cube you can write as 11 when divided by 13 will give you a remainder of minus 2. Minus 2 cube divided by 13, that will give me minus 8 when divided by 13. So that way the remainder will be minus 8. Minus 8 for 13 means a remainder of 5. Okay, dear students? Yes. Next example. I think we are chalo fine. I'll do one more. 11 raised to power. Instead of 36, I take 38 divided by 19. Now this can be a bit lengthy. Let me move to the next page. Okay. Uh, this I can say 11 raised to power 36 is 1. So what is remaining? 11 raised to power 36 into 11 square. What is 11 square? That is into 11 square divided by 19, or I can say 121 divided by 19. 19 into 6 is 114. 114 plus 7 divided by 19. So your remainder comes out to be 7. I am sure students all these concepts will be very clear to you. Okay. So let's take another question, students. Suppose I say find the remainder when I take a number 7602 plus 7598 plus 7680 plus 7580, something like this. Plus, let's take one last thing, that is 7670 is divided by 19. Then find remainder. Okay, dear students. How will I go about this? See, students, I won't keep on dividing each and everything. The only logic I know is 19 into 4 is 76. Okay. When 7600 is divided by 19, there is zero remainder. Remainder is 0. But let's say if I to this I add 2, it becomes 7602. So the remainder is 2. Clear hai? Now 7600 divided by 19. That way I can say 7600 divided by 19 will give me a remainder of plus 2. So that way 7602 is what? 760 plus 2. Therefore the remainder is 2. 7598. 7598 is what? 7600 minus 2. So here the remainder is minus 2. Then comes 7680. 7680 I can write as 7600 plus 76 plus 4. This when divided by 19, this is fully divisible, this is fully divisible, this will give me a remainder of 4. Okay, 7580, let's look at this. 7580 I can write as 7600 minus 20. Minus 20 means minus 19 minus 1. This is divisible by 19, this is also divisible by 19. So this way, what will be the remainder? Here the remainder will be minus 1. Okay. Okay, dear students. Last term was, what was the last term? Let's look at this. The last term was 7670. Let's look at this. 7670. This I can write as 7600 plus 76 minus 6 divided by 19. Here the remainder will be what? Here the remainder will be minus 6. Now what do I have? I get a 2 and a minus 2 cancel. 4. So final remainder from all this. The final remainder from all this will be 4 minus 1 minus 6, that is minus 3 remainder. For 19 minus 3 remainder means what? Remainder will be 16. I'm sure it must be clear to all of you. Let's move to the next one. And the next one we have, find the remainder when I say 10 plus 10 square plus 10 cube plus 10 raised to power 4, so on up to 10 raised to power 100 is divided by 6. Find remainder. Okay, dear students. Question number 4. Okay, this is like this. I tell you a very beautiful logic. 10 divided by 6 will give me a remainder of 4. 100 divided by 6 will again give me a remainder of any one followed by any number of zeros when divided by 6 will give me a remainder of 4. So what I can say, this can be written as 4 plus 4 plus 4, how many times? 100 times divided by 6. So I can say the remainder will be, this is like 400 divided by 6. 400 divided by 6 can be written as 396 plus 4 divided by 6. So your final remainder will be, so final remainder will be what? Final remainder will be 4. Okay, dear students, let's move to the next one. If I talk 4, sorry, if I talk 10 into 10 square into 10 cube into 10 raised to power 4, so on up to 10 raised to power 100, that will be too big, let's leave it. Up to 10 raised to power 10 divided by 6, then I say find the remainder. What will be the remainder in that case? It will be, the powers will be added, 10 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 10 divided by 6, or you can say 10 raised to power 55 divided by 6. But the crux is that this is 10. 10 when divided by 6 will give me a 4. So 4 raised to power 55 divided by 6. Now the best part is, dear student, that whatever power you make of 4, okay, 4 raised to any power when divided by 6 will give you a remainder of 4. Just check. 4 raised to power 1 divided by 6, remainder is 4. 4 square is 16. 16 divided by 6, the remainder is again 4. Okay. Then 4 raised to power 3 is 64 divided by 6. The remainder is again 4. 4 raised to any power, 4 raised to any power divided by 6. The remainder will be 4. So that way the remainder is 4. I am sure it must be clear, dear students. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Next question we have question number, yes. Find the remainder when 7 raised to power 19 is divided by 4. Quite easy, dear students. Why? You can write as 3 raised to the power 7. When you divide by 4, you get, or you can say 7 is what? 8 minus 1 raised to the power 19 divided by 4. That will be what? Minus 1 raised to the power 19. That is minus 1. For 7, a remainder of minus 1 means a remainder of, for 4, a remainder of minus 1 means a remainder of 3. Okay, dear students, let's take the next question. Find the remainder when, suppose I say 11 raised to the power 13 divided by 7. Find the remainder. Okay, how will I do it? 11 I can say is 11 divided by 7 will give me, 11 is what? This is 4 raised to the power 13 divided by 7. 4 raised to power 13 divided by 7. Now what I will do is find some suitable power of 4 which is close to a multiple of 7. I can say this as 4 raised to the power 12 into 4 divided by 7. Look, 4 raised to power 12 can be written as 4 raised to power 3 into 4 divided by 7. This is 64 raised to power 4 divided by 7. 64 is 63 plus 1. So it becomes 1 into 4 divided by 7. So your final remainder is 7. Clear, dear students? Let's take another example. 231 raised to the power 132 divided by 5. What will be the remainder? See, the question is actually so easy. Why? Because you write it as 230 plus 1 divide raised to the power 132 divided by 5. This is 1 raised to the power 132. Anything of this form will give you a remainder of 1. Okay, dear students, let's take another example. Suppose I say 5 raised to the power, next question क्या है, 5 raised to the power 120 कुछ और ले रहे हैं, चलो 123 डिवाइडेड बाय 11, रिमाइंडर निकालिए आप, ठीक है। तो क्या करेंगे, सीधा सा लॉजिक ये 11 है, यहाँ पर अगर पावर जो होगी 10 का मल्टीपल होगी तो हमारा काम बन जाएगा बड़े आराम से। तो 10 का मल्टीपल क्या है यहाँ पर 120, तो इसे लिख दिया 5 की पावर 120, 5 की पावर 3, ठीक है दोस्तों। तो अब ये क्या हो जाएगा, 5 की पावर 120 तो 1 ही हो जाएगा, उसके बाद क्या है 5 की पावर 3 यानी कि 125 डिवाइडेड बाय 11, सीधी सीधी बात, रिमाइंडर क्या आ जाएगा, रिमाइंडर आ जाएगा 4। क्यों? आई एम वेरी सॉरी स्टूडेंट्स, लेट मी रिपीट अगेन ऑल दिस इन इंग्लिश. I just forgot. I'm very sorry. Look, see, this is 5 raised to the power 123 divided by 11. How will I write this? I know if this is 11, if this power is a multiple of 10, then this will give me a remainder of 1. Then this is 5 cube. This becomes 5 raised to power 120 is what? 5 raised to power 120 will give me a remainder of 1 into 5 cube, that is 125 divided by 11, or I can say 1 into, this is 125, I can say 121 plus 4 divided by 11. This is completely divisible, therefore the remainder over here is 4. I am sure all this must be clear to all of you. Okay, let's take another question. Question number 12. 82. Then we have 3 raised to power 3415. How to solve it? Look, 82 is, find some power of 3 which is close to 82, that is 3 2 raised to power 4 is 81. So I will break it like 3 raised to power 3412, because this is a multiple of 4, 3 cube divided by 82. Now look careful, okay, we will have to be careful now. When I divide this by 4, I can write this as 3 raised to power 4. Now what is 3412 when divided by 4? 34 divided by 4 will give me 8, 2 remainder 21, 5, 12 remainder 3. Then I have 3 cube. Then I have 82. Now look at this. This is 81 raised to the power 853 into 3 cube raised to divided by 82. So now I can say this becomes what? Minus 1 raised to the power 853 into 27 divided by 82, or I can say minus 1 into 27 by 82, that is minus 27 is the remainder. For 82, a remainder of minus 27 can also be considered as, can also be reckoned as 82 minus 27, that will be 55 remainder. I am sure so far things will be clear to each of you. Okay, let's look into another question. Yeah, I take very good question now. 777 raised to power 333 plus 666 raised to power 333 divided by 3. What will be the remainder? Students, very obvious logic. The very obvious logic is this number, any number written thrice, any number written thrice or written 6 times. Let's say I make it like this: plus 444 raised to power 3333 plus 11 raised to power 333 divided by 3. What will be the remainder? So the concept is that, dear students, any number written 3 times or 6 times will always be divisible by 3. Any number of the form xxx or xxxxxxx will always be divisible by 3. Therefore, what I can say, and one more thing in this question only. Fine, so let me complete this. So this number is divisible by 3. This number is divisible by 3. So that is 3 multiple raised to any power. It doesn't matter, any power p. Again 3 multiple raised to any power p. Again 3 multiple raised to power p. Again 3 multiple raised to any power p. P4, P3, P2, P1 divided by 3. This is completely divisible. Since it is completely divisible, what will be the remainder? Since it is completely divisible, therefore remainder will be 0. Clear? Now one more beautiful thing. The other beautiful thing is, suppose I say 6 222 raised to power 444 plus 444 raised to power 444 plus 666666 raised to power 444 plus 888 raised to the power 444. Find remainder. Okay, how will I do this? Again, xxx, any number of the form xxx will always, of the form xxx or double x double x double x, okay, will always be divisible by 6 if x is even. Okay, so this is divisible, this is divisible, this is divisible, this is divisible, everything is divisible. Okay, so on the top we have 6 multiple plus again 6 multiple plus again 6 multiple plus again 6 multiple divided by 6. So completely divisible. This is completely divisible. Therefore remainder will be what? Therefore remainder will be 0. Okay, dear students, I am sure so far everything is clear to everyone. Let's take one more example. 78 raised to the power, what should I take? 1 2 3 4. This could be lengthy. No problem, it won't be lengthy. Divided by 7, find the remainder. So students, but always 77 plus 1 raised to the power any power, this is 1 raised to the power 1 2 3 4 divided by 7. Your remainder will be 1. I am sure it will be clear. Okay, I think you must have got a complete grip of the concept so far. Let me take a few more examples. The next question is, find the remainder when 288 raised to the power 500 is divided by 17. Find the remainder. Yeah. So 288 is what, dear students? 288 I can say is actually 289 minus 1. Okay, 288 is what? 289 minus 1. 289 is what? 17 square is what? 289. So that way I can say 17 raised to power 500, or I can say this is divisible by 17, so that way I can say minus 1 raised to the power 500 divided by 7. That way positive 1 will be your answer. I'm sure this must be clear. Let's take another example. Question number 3 raised to power, sorry, 2 raised to power 243 divided by 3 square. 3 square is 9. Okay, let's say 2 cube into 81. Now let's see what happens. 2 cube is 8. 8 raised to the power 81 divided by 9. 8 is 9 minus 1 raised to the power 81 divided by 9. That way it will be minus 1 raised to the power 81 divided by 9, or minus 1 remainder. For 9, a remainder of minus 1 is equal to a remainder of 8. So 8 is your answer. Let's take just one more. Then I will wind up the class for this particular topic. Yeah. The last one is 6 raised to the power 72 divided by 215. A pure logic is that 6 cube is actually 216. I can write it like this. So it becomes 216 raised to the power 24 divided by 25, or I can say 1 raised to the power 24 divided by any number. Okay, so that way the remainder comes out to be 1. So students, I hope we have genuinely done all sort of questions whatever could possibly be asked in your exam, and I'm sure you must have got a thorough grip of the concept. As usual, before taking your leave, I'll just request you to please study as much as possible. Don't waste any time in chatting with friends. Don't watch IPL right now. This is a very important thing. Carry on with your full force. Study throughout the day. Give as much time to your studies as possible. Because once this time is wasted, it won't come again. You can't drop an entire year for the same exam. So study thoroughly. Crack your exam in first attempt. This is Ajay Gulati for Sri Jain's Rank Zone classes, and this is bye bye. Take care. Good night. We'll meet again tomorrow.